making things work. There we go. Yeah, we have sound. We have sound, and we have internet, and we have all the things. Thank you very much for following while the intro was running. Crashlog, much appreciated. So yeah, it is 7 o'clock. It's the 22nd of June. And I got my second shot. I got my second vaccination shot today. I'm very tired. And my left arm really hurts. My first shot, it didn't seem to affect me at all, but today I had the second shot at around lunchtime, and yeah, very tired. Might be a slightly shorter stream than usual. But yes, I am very hopeful that second shot. Hi Arthur, thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. Yes, I'm kind of going like this, and I love, yeah. All the people can track me now. Everybody has been tracking me since I got my first iPhone in 2006, and my first Facebook account in 2008, and ever since Google. Do you know, I'm so old, I still remember one day somebody going, "Hey, have you seen this new search engine, Google?" And you're like, what? That's a stupid name for a search engine. And at the time, back in those days, search engines, there was Yahoo and Alta Vista and Lycos and something dog. I've never been invited to Google. But yeah, and then someone went, Dogpile, that was it, thank you. And then someone went, oh no, there's this new search engine, and you go, and all the other search engines, they were like part search engine but part directory, and so they were just crammed, and they were selling space on their sort of front page of the internet kind of thing. And then there was Google, and it was just Google and a text box and search and I'm feeling lucky, and that was it. But yes, and you're just kind of like, why would anybody use this? And then you type something in, and it just, the first result was, back in those days, the first result was the most relevant result. Now the first result is whoever's paid the most to be at the top. But before they got a business model, oh, it was amazing. And it had an Easter egg in the very, very first version of Google. If you searched on, I think it was More Evil Than Satan Himself, and pressed I'm feeling lucky, it took you to Microsoft.com. So yeah, anyway. Hey Eagle, how's it going? I did actually, I got invited to Gmail fairly early on, so I actually have just my surname at gmail.com. I wasn't quite early enough to get Mark at gmail.com, which would have been amazing. But I do have Rendell at gmail.com, so there you go. You can email me now. Hurrah! Hi, Conficient. Wow, so many people. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of Microsoft, oh, I know about the barrel roll. Yes, Google Easter eggs. Zerg Rush. Oh, not sure I know about Zerg Rush. Zerg Rush. Oh my god, what's this? I don't know what that's doing. Ah! Right, I'm going to have a go with that. Hi, Nolan2209, how's it going? So yes, as we were doing stuff last week, yeah, don't look at my tests, Eagle. I have no tests. As we were working on stuff last week, Microsoft went, haha, .NET 6 Preview 5. And so I have updated to .NET 6 Preview 5, and that was quite interesting. We're also on a newer preview of Visual Studio 2019. I think it's 16.11. Assimilated.dk and signed up to Google Apps. Yes. Yeah, no, I pay for Google Suite now, so I can have my Rendell.io email address. So yes, anyway, I updated to .NET 6 Preview 5 for the application, and so I have the old one open here as well. So this was the Preview 4 one. And the main thing that's changed here is that Preview 4, there was, so Stream Badger, this is the iOS, Android and Mac Catalyst project. And then there's StreamBadger.WinUI3 and then StreamBadger.WinUI3 package. And this was the one that you had to run. And this is the MSIX packaging project for it. Whereas now, in Preview 5, they've got rid of the packaging project. So this is a self-packaging WinUI project. Now, apparently, by the time the thing goes to... did they break hot reload? Awesome. But yes, by the time they get to final .NET 6, these two will actually be one thing. And so this super weird thing they've got where, so everything's actually in the Stream Badger project, and the Stream Badger project is just, let me make myself small. That's a good idea. Small mark. I don't have Des here to remind me. Where's Des when you need him? So this, .NET 6 iOS, .NET 6 Android, and .NET 6 Mac Catalyst. This is the sort of owner project. And then WinUI, which is the Windows 10 project. Everything in here is just linked through to the other bits, and then we've got this Windows folder in here. But these are all going to end up just in a single project that will build for all 4 of the platforms out of the gate. And so yeah, that's quite cool. Also, the project files seemed to get a lot more sensible. So let's just go back to this one here. So that project file, that doesn't look too bad. Was it this one? Oh yeah, okay, so the project file here, this was the old WinUI 3 project file, and then you had this project file as well, and it was all a bit terrifying, and I was kind of a bit worried because it looked like it was getting back to the days of insane CS proj files, but they have actually fixed that up. So this is much more manageable, and I can tell what everything in here is. So we've got your sort of basic property group, single project, all this sort of stuff goes up here. We've got some images which are included. This is all to pull in stuff from the other project there. So those, I assume, will just go away. And then we have package references. For some reason, we have 2 different sets of package references. So yeah, I did have a couple of issues when I first updated it. So I had to, if we go into extensions and look at my installed extensions, so I had to uninstall the previous Project Reunion extension and then install the new Project Reunion preview extension, which is this 0.8 version here. And then there was this single project packaging thing there. Ooh, release notes? No. Anyway, this is what enabled them to get rid of that WinUI package project. So on the Visual Studio Marketplace page for single project MSI. It says, you don't need to install this if you've installed the Project Reunion preview extension, because it's installed as part of that. And that turned out to be a lie, and I did have to install it separately. And basically, without that installed, when I pressed F5, Visual Studio just went, the profile doesn't know how to run this project, or the project doesn't know how to run this profile or something. But aside from all of that, we now have this thing working. And then if I go to here and do that and press splash, and we get the splash overlay shows up. So yes, this is all running in the thing properly now. And so, and if I do the connect with Twitch, then that comes back like it's supposed to, and then in here we should be able to go boom, and the boom shows up, and then I can get rid of it again, and all kinds of good stuff. So the other thing that is super exciting is, so let's get rid of that and make that go away. I just stopped it. I literally just stopped it. Hang on, let me run it again, and you can do that again. Connect with Twitch. And then let's turn it back on. So yeah, I'll leave it switched on while I can.
Oh, hi, Mark.
There we go. It works. Right. So what was the other thing that I wanted? Oh, that was it. So let's go down to here, and we'll go to github.com/Microsoft Edge/WebView to feedback. That is from the original movie, yes. The original movie that I only found out about because of the Disaster Artist, the movie that James Franco made about it. But yeah, the Prince Charles Theatre in Leicester Square in London have started doing showings of The Room again. So I'm going to go along with my a couple of friends and see that. Nice and easy to remember the URL for this issue, because it is Satan's issue. It is issue number 666. I know, right? A theatre. But yes, that is the actual Tommy Wiseau in the original, in that GIF that we have on there. So, things that happened. I tried on the app to change the sound thing here to a drop down. And then we went down a whole big rabbit hole of why doesn't it work? It's not working. And it turns out that there's a bug in WebView 2 that stops selects from working. And you sort of think, how's it been out? WebView 2's been out for a while. And a fundamental HTML control doesn't work in it, which just seemed mad to me, but that was it. So I may have tried to stir up a bit of controversy on Twitter and that sort of thing. But literally in the last 24 hours, the code so you can shame me in public so yes, they have finally responded on the issue on GitHub, and they've said, we have prioritized this and will start working on it soon. Thanks. To which I said, hooray! So, they have basically gone, this is our fault. This is definitely our fault and not Mark's fault. And so hopefully that'll get fixed soon and we can do something about it. So anyway, so it was actually, it's not a, I think it's a .NET thing in that the issue, because you can use WebView 2 from C++ as well. And it seems that it's only been reported in, so it's been reported in WPF and in Windows Forms. And we know that it happens in MAUI as well. But yes, definite Web 2 view beepery. So yeah, let's go back to the dashboard there. And sounds, I need to fix those up, but we've got this settings thing. This is what I just started working on last week. So this is the server port that it's going to run on here. So I am going to shut this down now and turn the overblaze off. Yes, it does. And the thing is, because I also opened an issue on the .NET MAUI repo to kind of go, hey, you know, like one of your headline features for .NET 6, it doesn't work. And so I assume there's been some behind the scenes-ness and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, also slightly late, Alex has just started yesterday at Microsoft. So Alex used to work on Chrome at Google and has now joined the Microsoft Edge team at Microsoft as a PM. And so Alex Russell, that's his name. So yes, anyway, that's quite exciting because he did a lot of good stuff at Chrome and is very good at kind of pushing browser things and so forth. And so technically his department is now responsible for this. So I can always go to Alex on Twitter and go, right, anyway. So tools, WebSocket server settings. So a while ago, somebody sent me a pull request to the original Overblaze, as it was called, because I suck at naming things. I'm the worst. There's a plugin that you can install into OBS that basically puts a WebSocket server in there, and then you can control OBS from any application that can open a WebSockets client. And so I'm just going to change this password to secret squirrel and do that. But yes, so you get to choose the server port and the password for it like that. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to rip open the other thing there. But so let's go back into Stream Badger here and we'll go into Pages and Settings.razor. And then let's go back to Bootstrap. That's an input group. What's the thing that kind of content components? I'm just going to go into here and so we've got an input here for the port. And then we're going to have an H2, which is going to be OBS web sockets. and then we'll have a div. I don't like Tailwind. So if people don't know what Tailwind CSS is, it is this, okay? So Tailwind has kind of essentially given every possible style that you could want a class. And so you end up typing these things in to your classes. And the problem with it, I mean, you can actually see it right there on the demo thing that it's got going, look at Tailwind CSS, isn't it awesome? Is that you end up with these enormous class entries, and it's absurd. And I mean, that's just their demo. But once you get to actually building these things out, what's that link? Open that URL. Building beautiful Blazor apps with Tailwind CSS. So yeah, I might take a look at that at some point. That might be interesting. But yeah, no, it just, honestly, these class things here, that just looks like inline styles with slightly shorter names. And yeah, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like you should be kind of going, this div is a call out or a tooltip or something. But yeah, absolutely, it feels like you're just writing this, but this is basically a style thing. It's very in line. It's going to be one of those things where some people love it, some people hate it, and I sit in the middle, not really being that bothered. I don't do a lot of front end, so OBS port class equals form dash label. And then input text bind dash value equals model dot. Where is my model here? Settings model. Go to definition. Nope. Settings model. Okay, so we've got OBS WebSockets port and OBS WebSockets password. So we'll just put OBS WebSockets port in there. Class equals form control. Type equals number. The alternative, having a separate bunch of CSS that may be very closely tied to the markup, is not too great either. Combined with a proper component renderer such as Blazor or one of the JS ones, it may not be pure aids. Yeah. Let's make that password in there. Yeah, there's an interesting project that I haven't had a chance to have a proper look at yet. Blazorize, which is a component library that supports 4 different, well, CSS frameworks like. Is there an input number component? This is brilliant. I get people. So we go input number and take that out. take that out. Is there a Blazor input password? No, but there is an input number. Okay. So if I've done that, does that mean I need to change those to be int? That was the default password on there. Let's try that. Okay, and settings. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Look at that. How nice. Why will this not stretch? Navbar. So app goes all the way across there, and then div class equals page is what's breaking that. So let's go into root here and app.css, and we'll say div.page width 100 VW. Yes, so I've done that there. So that's interesting. The show thing went away. But yes, so that's good. And I've broken this again, so that's good. So let's open that up. Div class equals page. That's interesting. So CSS, app.css. That did not update. CSS, app.css. Why? And that's coming from a weird place as well. Da, 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 da. So that's just not working. Okay, anyway. Right, so we've got settings store here. So let me just jump over to my user directory. Users, Mark. Evening, Dylan, how's it going? So no, I haven't done anything with that yet at all. So let's run this one more time. I'm going to rebuild this. And we are going to figure out why this app.css is not updating. Settings. Oh no, now it has updated. There we go. This looks much better. So we can leave that like that, and we're going to put that in there, and we're going to press save. And then that stream badger settings.razor, and we haven't done the goddamn thing. So that's why that's not working. So we are going to bring in settings store. Settings store. And then on initialized async, I don't think I've got any IntelliSense at all in here. So we're going to say model equals await settings store dot load async, and then we're going to say await settings store dot save async model, and then we're going to inject navigation manager, like that, and then after save we're going to say navigation manager dot. You're not happy, are you? Pages. Let's try opening you in this one and see if this does any better. Nope. I just don't have any IntelliSense. Right. Blazor Navigation Manager. Using Navigation Manager, navigate to .navigate to, go back to the dashboard, and then we need to bind a click. How does you bind a click? Blazor button on click. So then we'll do, so one thing I do like about Blazor is this thing where your event handlers can be async and it will do those properly, which is really nice. So then we'll have private void on cancel, and that's just going to do navigation manager.navigate to / like that. Do 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 dee 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 dum dee dum. All right, let's see what this does. It crashes. It crashes spectacularly. It's not having it. So what happened in my console here? Cannot provide a value for property settings store. There is no registered service. All right, I'll let you off on that one. That seems like a reasonable reason not to load up the page. So configure services, services.add singleton settings store, like that. So yeah, couldn't inject that because I hadn't actually created it or anything. Oh, there we go. So now we have this, and I can type secret squirrel in there and save, and it goes back to here. And now if I go back to my user directory, .streambadger, we've got a config.json. Let's just open that up with code quickly. Yes, I trust the authors. And we've got config.json port 25293, OBS WebSockets port 444, OBS WebSockets password. So yes, I am storing your WebSockets password unencrypted in there, and that's something I should totes deal with. But I'm not going to right now because I don't care. So now when it starts up, if I go into StreamBadger overlay and in startup here, let's so here is the very, very old original StreamBadger. And this was the toggle OBS source code here. And to make that work, we had obswebsocket.net. So that wants to go into here. Manage new get packages, browse obs-websocket. .net, that's the one, and install that into overlay. And then in startup here, I'm going to go and grab this toggle OBS source here. So we do have some IntelliSense and everything. I've completely removed ReSharper from the equation for the minute because it was just throwing me off completely. Okay, so then that was hooked up in configure over there. So then we can do lifetime.applicationstarted.register toggle OBS source true to turn it on, and then application stopped.register toggle OBS source false to turn it back off again. Now, in here, I'm just going to new up that. So I'm going to say var settings store. Arg. Lifetime.applicationstarted.register. We've got that's weird. Why would that be synchronous? Okay, fine. Synchronous it is. Equals new settings store. Var settings equals settings store dot load async dot configure await false dot get awaiter dot get result, because sometimes you just have to do that and there's nothing you can do about it and it's all just broken and everything's terrible. And then we're going to say, oh hang on, let's just go over to there. We can say if settings dot OBS WebSockets password. why not make toggle OBS store async? Because I don't have anywhere to register it up here as async. The application started.register. I mean, I could make it async void, but we're not really supposed to. Oh, let's. Let me do that. Yeah, it'll let me do that. I really don't like that. So that is going to be async void. I know async void doesn't seem right. But this, essentially we're registering an event handler. Because this is a cancellation token. And it only takes actions. We've got unsafe register, which does that. But yeah, there's no overload for register. That takes a func of task. OBS WebSockets port, and this can be settings.obs WebSockets password, and then we can just put a try Oh, you forget how much ReSharper does for you. I've got so used to just not typing. Services don't work in the external application. So yeah, none of these services actually work. And then we'll just do a catch and ignore it if that happens like that. Okay, so let's set a breakpoint here and see what happens when we run this now. Okay, so we've got our settings here, which is legit, and I'm going to create a new, what is it? And do that, and no, that didn't work. I'm not sure why services doesn't work. It's because I'm doing something super scary here, and basically I've got a Blazor application that's running inside here, and I've got another Blazor application that's running inside here. And so when I tried to have a service that started in here, I mean, I'll just stick another one in. Add class, and we'll call it OBS WebSocket service, and do background service in there. implement the abstract class, return task.completed task. It may be that they fixed it in the interim, in which case we can do this instead. So we can do startup. So that shouldn't be in there anymore, basically, because I'm pretty sure that was in here. Was it? Or was it in here that services don't work? It might be in the Maui project that services don't work, actually, now that I think of it. So yeah, we can probably do this instead. Services.add hosted service OBS WebSocket service. And then in here we can generate that constructor like that. And then let's go into startup here like this and grab that there. The thing is, if I do it as a background service, then I can make it I can do funky cool things. So I can say await toggle OBS source true, like that. And then there's a funky thing you can do with cancellation tokens. So we can say internal static class cancellation token extension public static task wait async this cancellation token. And then we can say var completion source equals new task completion source. And then we can say token dot register completion source dot set result. And then we can return completion source dot task from there. So that basically lets you do an await for when a cancellation token gets cancelled. And then in here we can await stopping token dot wait async. And then we can say await toggle OBS source false. So yeah, we basically run this, and then when this gets stopped, then it will turn the OBS source off again. And so now I can go into here and I can take this out again. And we can get rid of that. we're going to inject an iLogger. Create and assign field underscore logger. Underscore. And then down here we can say underscore logger.log error. And we're going to set a breakpoint on there like that. And we're going to do that. And that just hasn't done anything. Start up here. Oh, so services dot add singleton settings store, and that should work now. And then we can find out what this exception is and we can fixes it. The scheme part is not WS or WSS. Ah! So, obs-websocket-.net. Some sort of usage thing, test client project for a working sample, program.css. What on earth is this? This is a Windows Forms application. My God. Main window.cs. Oh, for goodness sake. Bum, 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 bum. TXT. Oh, for that doesn't help me, does it? Right. Tools. WebSocket server settings. Are we just going to assume it's WS / OBS WebSocket? WebSocket URLs do start with WS, yes. README on the GitHub repository. So I assume it's going to be localhost. So let's just change this to WS and run this. Browser source name is going to be over Blaze on my OBS that I've got at the moment, and then we can run this. F10. Oh, wow. It worked! So now that automatically enables the overlay when the thing starts up. So then, so now we can go into here and we can go, yay, Perry. And there he is, and I can turn him off again. And then when I close this, and do that and that. And it goes away again. Yes! Oh, it works, it works, it works. I'm super happy. Thank you very much, Eagle, for the suggestion to put that into the thing there. We can get that from the thing there. I am debugging the actual stream that you're watching live on air. Yes, I am, because I am a hardcore. Because it's super fun. So yeah, if I Dylan, you'll like this. Delete all breakpoints, and yep. So yes, I am building the application that is designed to customize the hell out of my stream on my stream, and so yeah, and it's got chat integration. So in here you can do that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And yeah, it does things and stuff. And I'm going to be hooking it up with rewards that you can use your stickers and get rewards and do stuff so that people spend bits and I can make pennies, and all sorts of things. But yeah, also, hang on, I'm going to lift the Stream Deck up. It actually it integrates with my Stream Deck, so I can press Perry on there, and I can press Boom on there, and those come up. And if I press Perry and Boom, they both come up at the same time, and then I can do that one. So yeah, it works with my Stream Deck as well, which is just really cool. I like that. But yeah, and it does sounds, so you can do doors. And it's all customizable, and you can add images to it, and there's this whole sort of add image thing here with sliders to move it around and resize it, and do all this sort of stuff here. Yeah, so I'm learning Blazor. I'm learning Blazor Desktop and .NET MAUI, and I'm building mad random stuff for my stream. It's super fun. And we're really enjoying it. And now, for the last half hour or so of the stream, I'm going to do something that I have been promising Eagle that I would do for ages. B-Unit. This is you, isn't it? Right. So let's write a test for the... Go to the documentation pages to learn more. Creating a new B-Unit test project. Create a new X-Unit. All right, so where am I? We're in here at the moment. So I'm going to do mkdir test, and then .NET new X-Unit -o test / stream badger overlay .tests. And then That's the old one. You can go away now. I don't need you. And then we can do add new solution folder and call it test like that. And then in here we will add an existing project, test U in there. Right. Then we're going to add bunit into there. So we're going to manage NuGet packages, and we're going to go to bunit. I'm going to go with a preview just because it seems like that's probably the right thing to do, because we don't use stable packages on this stream. Stable packages are for the weak. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff. So this is referencing a whole bunch of preview 3 things. Update your doing. So we'll do that. The project's SDK needs to be set to Microsoft.net.sdk.razor, and the target framework needs to be set to Net 5. I'm guessing that's not right in this instance. So I'm going to put .razor in there like that. And I'm going to add a project reference to streambadger.overlay like that. And then let's go back to here. Right. So then we're going to say, let's open this up. Image test. What's that actually called? My components in here. Overlay image test. And I'm guessing this is going to want to be async. No, that's fine. Okay. So then let's say var context equals new test context. And then var image equals context dot render component overlay image, and then the component parameters. So we have a name there and an ended. Just inherit from test context in your test class. Okay, so if I do that, and then we're going to say new component parameter name and value. How do I set? Oh, I've got a public static. Dot create parameter, and this is going to be name, and that we're just going to put Perry in there. Does it? There's a builder. Go to the docs, he says. It's like you don't know me at all. Parameters and cascading values. Oh, okay, so we got this. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. So we'll do parameters dot add name Perry. Oh, that's it. So we want I to I dot. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Like that. And then we can say image dot. So that should give me image with src. So find a P element and then verify its content. I'm going to change this to actual, and then we can say actual dot find image dot get attribute src, and then we can say assert dot equal, and that should be strongly typed params indeed for the win. Oh, for God's sake, I don't have resharper. How am I going to run this now? Test. Run all tests? There we go, we've got a test explorer there. No. So what went wrong there? Don't care about that, don't care about that. What we might be able to do is go cannot provide a value for property image store. There is no registered service of type stream badger.shared.image store. Right. Cheers, Dylan. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we don't have an image store. That would be completely brilliant. So yes, if you go to the Discord, then there's an images channel in there where people can just submit images and I'll add them to the overlay thing over time. No one's submitted any yet, but we're getting there, you know, it's going to be fun. Right, so this dot services dot add singleton Did you like the way that I just worked that out there, Eagle, without actually having to... do you know what that means, though? That means that you did that in the least surprising, least astonishing, most obvious way that it could possibly have been done. And yeah, I love that. That is really, really good. So, I now have that in there. What I'm not sure about... Okay, let's just... We'll do this and then we'll stop for the evening. So we're going to do .NET new xunit -o test / stream badger dot Blazor tests. And then we'll go back to here again and we'll do another add existing project and we'll bring that in there like that. And we're going to manage NuGet packages here and do bunit again and install that. All right. And then we're going to change the SDK to .razor. And then we're going to add a project reference to Stream Badger. And we're just going to go into pages here. So we've got counter.razor. Yeah, let's use that because it's still sitting in there because I haven't overwritten it with anything. So we're going to inherit from test context. Like that. And then we're going to say var actual equals. So counter.razor does not have any parameters. This is nice and easy. Render component counter. Oh, no, it doesn't like that. So if I try and build that, Stream Badger is not compatible with .NET 6. Yeah, that's the issue. Is yeah, no, that's not going to work. So my understanding where they're going with the Blazor stuff for Maui, when I was watching build Microsoft stuff, They actually had the Blazor project in its own sort of separate project, and then they just hosted it in Maui. And I don't know if that is a model that's supposed to work, because then that would work perfectly. But the problem that we've got is that the target framework here is Net 6, iOS, Android, and Mac Catalyst. And that's not going to work for, this is, the test project is just Net 6. So it might be worth doing some refactoring to see if the pages and stuff, the components, could be pulled out into a separate project. I don't know. Might have a fiddle with it in between streams and see if there's anything we can do with it. Right. But generally, I think that was a pretty successful evening stream. We got quite a lot of stuff done there. And it turns the overlay on so that we can do that. And it does the connect with Twitch thing. You know what I am going to do? So when it does the connect with Twitch, it creates a session ID for itself, which is just a GUID. And then the website that's running somewhere that does the actual login stuff keeps the keys in a Redis cache. And so what I might do is make it actually save its session ID and say I'm gonna keep this, and then when it starts up, it can do a quick get to the streambadger.com site and go, hey, am I already logged in, and has the API token expired? And if it hasn't, give it back, and then it will just automatically be logged in, at which point I would need to put a log out thing here that would then go and run through the log out process, which is even more fun. But yeah, and the settings, so those load properly. This is really starting to look quite good. Cool. Right. So yeah, I'm going to do some investigating on the B unit side of things. So that's shutting down. That glitches briefly, and then you can see that it disappears because this might like this. Data table. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I will take a look at that, and maybe we'll do a few more B unit tests on Thursday, and look at mocking things and passing mock kind of image stores and stuff through in there. I'll do some experimenting off stream and see if I can move some of these components that are in here. If I move the components out into a Razor library and then include them in here, that might work. And then I can write tests against the library, and that should work then. I'll give that a go. We'll see if that does anything useful. But yes, cool. All right, like I said, short stream tonight because my arm hurts and I'm tired and everything. But I will be back on Thursday at 7 o'clock. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by and watching. It's really nice just not to be here howling into the void. So I do appreciate you all. Yeah, I hope that was fun. I had fun tonight. and things worked, and we got the thing there working and stuff. So yeah, I'll be back here at 7 o'clock Thursday night, 6 o'clock UTC, 7 o'clock UK time, and we'll be talking more about the new streams I'm going to start doing, teaching C# from scratch. So if you've got anybody who wants to learn about programming from scratch, or wants to learn C# or any of that sort of stuff, then there will be more information about that on Thursday as well. Awesome. Thanks very much for stopping by, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will hope to see you in a couple of days. Cheers. Bye.